Well, good evening, guys and gals. Apparently I have some female subscribers, which I find that odd. Well, no, I really don't. So you guys know I did a video about the Ferrum. Some of you guys do. You probably saw the notification, and then I did a video about this knife, which is the Ferrum Forge Stinger XL. It went up. It didn't post until, I want to say 4 or 5 in the morning. By the time I got it posted, it was late. And so when it did post, I watched it that morning while I was getting dressed, and I was not happy with the video. So I took it down. So what we're here to do is we're going to revisit the Ferrum Forge Stinger XL and give you a little bit. This is going to be a better review anyway, because I did the other one and it was late. And I was tired and I was trying to do 2 things at once, and it didn't end up being a very good video. I did it in the kitchen. So I had some stuff that I was going to do this evening that pretty much fell through, and I had picked this up. This is number 11, keeping track of how many of these I've sharpened so far for Kristen Elliott. Those of you that do not know, Elliott offers Ferrum Forge Knife Works offers my sharpening service as an option you can get, and if you get a maker's choice, it comes standard. So what I had said in the previous video, and I said it's one of the largest, I'm not sure. My friend Luke Albert asked me, he said, do you think the BAK is bigger? And I didn't know, and that's the only one I could think of that would be a larger Ferrum Forge knife, was the BAK. But I wasn't sure, and I haven't checked into it yet. So I'm gonna say it's one of the largest, if not the largest, Ferrum Forge knives. By far, it's the largest one I've seen them make since I've been hanging out and spending time with them. Full titanium frame lock, 20 CV blade. I have not sharpened this one yet because my stones just went in the water. The scale on this one is my favorite one. It's the suspended animation, so you can see that it's got some there's a lot of openings in it, and when it really looks cool is they've done some Damasteel blades, and you can see the Damasteel through the suspended animation scale, and it's really awesome looking. So like all their knives, runs on bearings, full titanium scale or frame lock. Once again, they do it in a way that they've got enough of a gap in there. I can see the tops of every one of those old bearings. I don't need to take this knife apart to clean it. But once again, what you really have is each one of these knives can be so unique. They're making 200 knives this run. Making 200 knives this run, and when you look at their options, there's thousands of customizable options. If everyone was to order, everyone that ever ordered a knife in this run could order something different, and every one of those knives would be unique. I mean, even down to the option of you can either get a spring clip or one of their sculpted pocket clips. They're not milled, they're sculpted. They're all done by hand. So these are cut out by hand. I've seen the set of vice grips that Elliott uses for that. This one hasn't even been sharpened yet. So this one is suspended animation scale with dark matter. It's not. I don't even think it's their dark matter. I'm not sure what finish this is, to tell you the truth. But they get some amazing color contrast with their anodizing. Really nice, almost purplish bronze hardware on this one. And so if you guys know anything about Ferrum Forge, they make 200 knives and then they never make that model again. Which is true. This is a Stinger, which, I mean, it's almost the same design as the Stingers that were done in SM100. But it's done in 20 CV, and it has this thumb, or this opening hole, this aperture, the finger flipping aperture, as I like to call it. They did do jimping on the flipper tab on this one. So all of them have jimping. It's not aggressive, but it's enough that a lot of people complain about. I don't have one of their other knives. A lot of people complain about their flipper tabs being pretty smooth. And I really don't think they are. Well, I did have Elliot jump the flipper tab on my end tack. But so what they've done is there's some jimping on the flipper tab for this one. And then stonewash blade on this one. But I'm going to turn the camera around and try and get some good pictures of this, some good video of this, so you guys can see it, because it's a really nice knife. So bear with me while I do that. And I'm going to go grab, real quick too, before I do that, I'm going to go grab some size comparisons, because I have a couple knives that you can see, you can compare. I went and grabbed a couple knives so I get you a size comparison. The knife that I have that's closest would be my WE 601, and it's still just a little bit smaller than this Ferrum Forge. The scales are just a little bit larger, and then blade length just a little bit more. For those of you that don't own one of those and maybe own one of these, you're looking at a pretty close size comparison. It's a good bit bigger than a Sebenza. You're looking at maybe about a ½ inch larger than a Chris Reeve Sebenza. So I don't have the specs on it, don't know size, and I don't know length. It is pretty much their standard blade thickness, and always their standard, you know, hardware that you're always going to get. It's always really well done. Nice shouldered, so nice shouldered hardware that maintains the standoff on both sides of this blade. Blade is, as I would expect, just perfectly centered. If not perfect, it's close enough that I can't see a difference. Another knife of theirs to compare in size-wise, the Fortis. My Fortis is a fairly large knife. The Fortis is broader, but the reason I brought this out was, so as they continue to work on their processes, this, while I love this knife, is never going to cut as nice as this will. It won't. Even though it's broader and it had more room for standoff to get that grind, these were not ground as thinly as these are. And it's just, that's what you're going to have. The thinner it's ground, the thinner it comes down behind that edge, the better it's going to slice. These are going to be amazing slicers. Like I said, this is the 11th one I've sharpened for them. When I do this, it will be number 11. And every one of them has gotten just ridiculous sharp. This has only got a 220 grit edge, and Elliot didn't even remove the burr, and it's sharp. So, so you guys know, when I get their knives, I pretty much follow the edge that Elliot set with the grinder. And there's some variations, but I do thin that edge. I knock that shoulder off. I widen up the edge a little bit. I thin that edge out a little bit, because all I want Elliot to do is provide me to knock the material off, so I don't have to try and apex it on a stone, which is one, time consuming, and two, it costs me a lot on my stones. It's a lot of undue use on my stones. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. We'll get some video of it with the rear-facing camera, and then I have another knife that we're going to talk about, because my stones, I want them to be good and wet this time. We're going to talk about this, probably 2 videos today. This is going to be number 2. We'll talk about this in a minute. All right, guys, like I said before, I'm going to go around to the other side, because now I know where well, I can do it like this. So I wanted to try and get some good close-in views so you guys can see some of those amazing colors that they're kicking out. Some of these knives have got some of the most unique color combinations I've ever seen. I love that green anodizing, and you can just see that they tumbled that black scale just enough to give you a little bit of color throughout the blade. So this blade is pretty thin. As much as people complain about, oh, Ferrum Forge knives are they're so thick, but when you look down that blade, you can see how that blade thins, and it's significantly thin. It is thin enough to be a very good slicer, but thick enough to allow for good use. And one of the other things that they do is they leave the tip on their knives, if you look, you can see it here. And it's not to be done as the, it's just, if you look where the tip is just got enough meat on it, that is, and I do it when I make a knife too, especially if I'm giving it to somebody I know is going to be hard on it. It's going to keep you from breaking the tip off that knife as easily. Because I'm telling you right now, it sucks to break the tip off a knife. And if you send me a knife to do tip repair and it's 20 CV, you're gonna have to pay me to do tip repair. So there's a good look at the blade and the hardware. And so, like I said, I know that I put the other video up, and I'm sorry that I took it down. It was not the quality of a video that I wanted to give you guys on something this cool. So, to any of the customers that have talked to me about, have I seen their knife that ordered the Emler Edge? If it's a lefty, I'll tell you right now, lefties come out at the end of the run. They are done last. So if you have a lefty, I wouldn't have seen it yet. So, all right, guys, turn this back around and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to talk about this for a little bit. I am going to do another video about this. This is coming up later, just shortly. This is the Gavco number 7. This was the 7th folding knife that Mike Gavick ever made. It's in Elliot's personal box, his collection. He told me I could borrow it and carry it for a while. I've had it way longer than I intended to. I wanted to do a video of this a while ago. It's going to get its own video. So I'm going to shoot that just now. If you follow me, you probably aren't going to see these videos. If you follow me on Instagram, I am going to try and do a live Instagram feed while I'm doing some sharpening. People seem to like that, and I can ask some questions. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me. It's the Emler Edge, the underscore Emler Edge, the underscore Emler underscore Edge on Instagram. Whiskey. And it allows you to see my live feeds, because right now, the way I have my YouTube channel set up, I'm part of a network to try and maximize my income from Facebook, or I mean YouTube. I have to, because I'm really not making a lot of money at the insurance and sharpening. I would like it to start to take off more, but it's working that way with the insurance. But the fact is, I have to augment my income somehow, and if that means that I had to change the way my videos were monetized, then so be it. So if you guys are noticing that there's some commercials in the mid-roll, I apologize. That's something I can't do anything about that. So right now, the way it's set up, it's just something I have to deal with. So I apologize. They shouldn't be too long. I don't think any of them are unskippable ads. So, all right, guys, that's the end of this one. I'm gonna do some stuff, and then I'm gonna get a video of this and do a live feed of sharpening. So I don't know which order I'm gonna do that in. So I may see you in a couple minutes, or I may see you in an hour or so. So you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you later. And the week is running to an end. The contest, I think, is almost over. So I don't think you should have too much wait between videos. Yesterday I didn't do a video. I did one, I think I did one on Monday. Tuesday I did one. So today's Thursday. I only skipped a day, but I'm trying to do at least a little video every day. So, all right, guys, that's it. I will see you guys in the next video here shortly. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.